There are a lot of videos going viral about how to manifest a change in your appearance. And some of the techniques are actually pretty good, but some of them are kind of problematic. So we're going to get into them today, and I'm going to give you my takes on some of these techniques. And if you haven't seen me before, hi, my name is Coach Katie, creator and owner of Manifest Best, and I teach my clients how to manifest the best. Now, my style of teaching is based on science and psychology, so you can be sure that it really works and that it actually makes sense. So keep that in mind when I'm reacting to these videos. There is no hate to any of these creators. They are all wonderful women, I'm sure, I hope. But I do think it's really important to talk about some of the advice that's going viral to see what is actually a good idea for you to try and what you should avoid. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I post helpful new videos all the time. And check the description below for links to my courses, coaching, and meditation tools to help you manifest the best. So let's get into it.
If you are manifesting an appearance change, you're probably wondering, how do you do this when you are looking in the mirror all the time and seeing whatever it is? Let's say it's acne or something that you're trying to clear up. So anyways, what you want to do is when you step away from the mirror, you would revise what you saw.
I'm going to pause here really quick because revision is an excellent technique. It is something that I teach to my clients, and it's something that you can do verbally, or in her case, as she is describing, you can do it visually.
In the mirror. So if it is acne, for example, and maybe you have like breakouts, you would just picture yourself having looked in the mirror in that moment and seeing yourself with clear, glistening skin.
But let's talk about for a second why we are doing revision, because a lot of people get this wrong. Some people think that revision is like this magical thing where, oh, if you just revise the past or revise what you saw, somehow it's magically going to change the present or change the future. And that's not how manifestation works. Manifestation works not on magic, not on wishful thinking. Manifestation is the reflection of who you are being inside. So it's your insides reflecting outside. So the reason why revision can work if you're doing it correctly is because if you revise from, oh, I don't like what I see in the mirror to, I do like what I see in the mirror, you're starting to create this belief system, this identity that you like what you see, you like what you look like. And that belief system, that identity is what can create manifestational changes. It's not some sort of like magical technique. So just putting that out there.
And you don't have to make it some long, drawn out visualization, right? Just a quick flash. A quick image of you with nice, clear skin is good enough. And then you tell yourself, yeah, that's how I actually look, right? And you carry yourself for the rest of the day as that is how you look. And this is also
okay, we got to pause here because what she just said, that little piece at the end, is probably the best advice in the video so far. She said, carry yourself that way throughout the day. Go about your day being a person who likes the way that they look. That's literally the most important part. Because if you're going throughout your day believing that you like the way that you look, what are you going to do? You're going to hold your shoulders back. You're going to hold your head up high. You're going to take physical action steps that align with that belief. So if I believe that I look good, I'm going to let my hair down. I'm going to put on a little bit of makeup, a little lipstick. If I believe that I look good, I'm going to carry myself with confidence, with a little zhuzh. You know what I'm saying? That's what is making the difference. Okay. So it's not magic. And the reason why the way you carry yourself throughout the day is the most important part versus doing a quick revision in the mirror is because that revision takes you like a couple seconds or a couple minutes. What you're doing throughout the day, that's the majority of your time. That's the majority of the feedback that you're giving yourself, your brain, your cells. So that's what's going to make the most difference. A lot of people, what they get wrong about manifesting is they try to do a couple little techniques in the morning or the night, or they focus way, way, way too much on techniques. And those do not last very long. What lasts long is the rest of your day. By the way, you should not be doing manifestation techniques all day long. This is something I talk about in a lot of other videos and I'm going to continue to talk about. So again, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because I'm going to get more into that in other videos. But you absolutely should not be doing manifestation techniques all day long. What you should be doing is making realistic changes to your day-to-day life that align with the identity of having what you want. That is what's going to make the quickest difference, the easiest difference, and it's actually going to last.
And this is also why I really recommend having a photoshopped image of how you would like to look, right? Your ideal self. Because our brains have a hard time like conjuring faces and images, especially like with no reference point. So if that's not what you actually look like, it's going to be a bit harder. So if you can have something you actually, can physically look at that is a picture of yourself, it's going to be very helpful.
Okay, so I completely agree with this as well. You can use a photoshopped image if that's something that helps you get a clear picture of what it is that you're manifesting, the appearance changes. If you're wanting to look like you did in the past, let's say, oh, I want youthful skin, or I want to be the weight that I was before, etc. You can also just look at an old picture of yourself. It doesn't really matter. But yes, having that visual representation, that like clear, tangible image definitely can help, especially if you're somebody who struggles with visualizing, if it's hard for you to get like a clear visual picture in your imagination. Having like that physical photo to look at is absolutely a really good idea.
I want to talk about appearance changes with like manifestation, like manifesting beauty. How you feel on the inside is how you look on the outside. I truly believe that. So when I started meditating and when I started treating myself with love, I feel like that radiated.
Okay, so far I absolutely agree. I think that what you are on the inside is going to reflect outside, which is what I was saying. That's literally what manifestation is. It's your insides getting reflected out. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are, you manifest your identity. It sounds to me like what she's doing is some identity work. She's working on really feeling beautiful, believing that she is beautiful, and that is literally causing her to become more beautiful, which is literally true. And there's science behind it, especially when it comes to like your skin. There's some things that seem more difficult to change, like your bone structure, the proportions that you have. Those things seem more difficult to change. They absolutely can be changed. But things like your skin, your hair, your weight, those things fluctuate normally because your cells are always regenerating and changing. So every 7 years, you're a completely new person because all of your old cells have died and been replaced with new ones. So you are literally very moldable when it comes to that. And your brain activity is part of what is informing your cells to change, how they should change.
I listen to beauty subliminals every single night, and I also would say affirmations. I would say beauty affirmations to myself in the mirror when I was doing my makeup. And I just started trying to speak to myself very kindly.
Okay, so when it comes to subliminals and affirmations and things like this, listen, there's a time and place for it. This is like a very small tool that I teach to my clients as well, but it is such a small, tiny little itsy bitsy witsy part of manifesting. It's a crutch. It is one of the first little stepping stones, okay? If your entire technique and strategy is built on affirmations, honey, you're in for a rude awakening. You're in for a really nasty surprise because that's not something that is going to be sustainable long term if that's all that you're doing. Number one, because if you're relying on affirmations, especially ones that you don't believe, you're going to create what's called a cognitive dissonance, where you don't actually believe what you're saying, but you're still saying it anyways. This actually creates more disbelief, and it's going to eventually lead to self-sabotage. It's not a healthy, sustainable way to change your identity if the affirmations you're saying are so far from believable for you. So it sounds like perhaps the affirmations this person particularly was using, she kind of did believe them, which is great. And obviously she's very beautiful. So I hope that she believes that she's beautiful. This is not a one size fits all thing. And you should not just start affirming, I'm beautiful. I'm the most beautiful person. I'm super skinny. If you feel like you're butt ugly, nobody likes you, and you feel like a gigantic whale, you should not just start saying, oh, I'm skinny, because it's going to create that cognitive dissonance. Same thing with subliminals. You want your affirmations and your subliminals to be customized to you so that they actually reflect realistic goals. And realistic, that's up to you to define. So you absolutely can go from being 500 pounds down to 120 pounds. That is absolutely possible. How many people actually do that? Not very freaking many. Okay. I looked up a statistic recently because I was really curious. How many people, what percentage of people are successfully able to lose 50 pounds or more? And it's only 5 to 10%. That is such a tiny percentage. That's almost nobody. And of that 5 to 10% of people who are able to successfully lose 50 pounds or more, only about 10 to 20% of them keep the weight off long term. The other 80 to 90% of people not only put that weight back on within just a few years, oftentimes they gain even more than they initially lost. I like to do something called manifesting in steps. So you start by identifying, okay, what is your end goal? Let's say your end goal is losing 100 pounds, but that doesn't seem believable to you. So what is something that does seem believable that is a step in the right direction? Well, I can lose 20 pounds. I believe that. Okay, so start using affirmations that support that goal. What is it like to lose 20 pounds? Who are you? What are you doing? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Use affirmations to describe reaching that step in the right direction. And what you're going to find is that when you do that, and you are successful in losing those 20 pounds, now it seems a lot more believable. Well, of course I can lose the other 80. Like, I just do exactly what I just did 4 more times. I definitely don't recommend jumping straight to the end if it seems unbelievable to you. Do affirmations and subliminals that actually feel real and possible. Otherwise, you're just not going to do them at all.
Yes, I do think that I 100% manifested feeling and looking more beautiful than I was before, but it was internal and external, clear skin and losing weight and like having a desire to exercise and do those things. I think that if I didn't start saying affirmations and listening to subliminals, those desires wouldn't have come.
Whoa, let's pause right there. Okay, again, there's no hate to any of these creators. All of the women that I'm going to show in this video are very beautiful. I'm sure they're fully capable, but you already had the desire. You already have the desire to make these changes. Otherwise, you wouldn't have started listening to the subliminals and doing the affirmations in the first place. If I don't have a desire for something, I'm not going to start affirming for it. She's saying like, okay, I made these physical changes, but it's because of the subliminals. It's because of the affirmations that gave me the desire. That's just not true. The desire precedes you doing the affirmations.
But I also want to say I have lip filler. My eyebrows are microbladed and I wear extensions sometimes, okay? So I'm not saying that all of this is just for manifestation, but also like I manifested the desire to doing what I thought made me look and feel the best, okay?
Oh, pause. Everything is a manifestation, okay? Everything is a manifestation. This is like a little, maybe a big pet peeve of mine, is when people say that actions that they take are not manifestation. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I teach my signature 5-pillar manifestation method, which is your beliefs, thoughts, feelings, words, and ding, 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 actions. Hello, yes, actions are a big part of manifesting. And all of these things tie into each other. When you pull on one, the rest of them shift as well. Your actions absolutely 100% are part of manifesting. Actions that you take, that's manifesting as well. Okay, manifesting is not just magical random things seeming to fall out of the sky. That can happen, but the only time when it's like this magical out of the blue stuff I'm sorry. It's only when you are unable to connect the dots of how it happened. Because you're manifesting everything, you're literally creating everything. Nothing is happening randomly.
If you want an appearance change, if you want a glow up, I would say listen to beauty and self-concept, affirmations and subliminals. Say affirmations and subliminals. Start treating yourself kindly. Meditation and beauty sleep, okay? Like sleep and drink your water. If you speak affirmations in your water, you drink them, you are bringing.
I agreed with her up until that point. Yes, you can say affirmations, listen to subliminals, but again, that is a teeny tiny, itsy bitsy witsy little teeny part. I cannot stress how small of a part affirmations should be in your manifestation strategy. It is what you do throughout your day-to-day life, who you are being, the actions and the habits that you're taking. That's what makes the most difference. If you're trying to force yourself to say affirmations that you don't believe, if you're trying to robotically affirm all day long, what you're doing is you're draining your energy and you're not actually being the version of you who has what you want. Okay? Listen, I'm skinny. I'm fit, but I'm skinny. I lost 85 pounds since having my son, and I'll put the pictures here. These are my before and afters. So I've lost 85 pounds, okay? I know what I'm talking about. And you don't do it by robotically affirming all day long, by listening to subliminals all day long. Like I said, this is a crutch, this is a stepping stone. That's something that you can do a little bit more when you are in a big state of disbelief and you're really having trouble getting momentum to even start. But you want to be the person who has what you want. And so now, as someone who is thin and fit, I'm not thinking all day long, I'm thin, I'm fit, I'm thin, I'm fit, I'm thin, I'm fit. That's stupid. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. I'm sorry, I'm getting like hyped up. I'm so against saying robotic affirmations all day long. It backfires, it creates a cognitive dissonance, and it's not in line with the version of you who simply has what you want and isn't desperately clinging to an outcome.
Before and after. Also, I still love this version of me because without her, I would not be where I am today.
And I love that as well. She's saying there's no hate to her past self. There's no hate to how she used to look. And that is 100% a massive ingredient in manifesting. You cannot get to somewhere that you want to go by hating where you are now. So you have to make some sort of peace with where you're at now, because that is the identity of somebody who has what they want. You're always manifesting a direct reflection of who you are. So if who you are is someone who hates their circumstances, all you're going to do is manifest more circumstances that you hate. Whereas if you find some sort of grace and compassion for where you're at now, not saying like, oh, I'm going to be this way forever and that's okay. I'm not saying it like that, but I'm saying like, you know what, where I'm at now is a fine place to be. This is a great starting point. There are still plenty of things that I can love about my body. Maybe it's my abilities. Maybe it's something super simple like my hair, my nails, my feet, my elbows, like whatever it is. It doesn't have to be, oh, I love my whole body and I don't want to change it. I'm not saying that. But if you find some sort of like love and acceptance for where you're at now, it's going to be a lot easier for you to manifest even more and to build on that love and acceptance and transform yourself so much faster and easier. So let's keep watching.
Also, a huge thing that I did is I stopped comparing myself to other girls, okay? Jealousy? No. I am not letting myself fall into the trap of jealousy, of resentment for other people. I know that sunset and a flower are both very beautiful, but they are beautiful in their own way, okay? The more love and beauty you send out, the more is sent back to you, okay? Also, I think kindness is literally a superpower, and the more kind you are, like truly the more beautiful you are.
100%. So I completely agree with her on everything she just said there. This is a really big one. You know, I help a lot of people with relationships, and a lot of people, oh, they have such a backwards way of looking at it. So they're like, oh, I want my ex back, and my friend got their ex back, and I was manifesting for my ex back, and I'm jealous. Like, why did she get her ex back and I didn't get mine? No, no, no. That jealousy is going to cancel out whatever it is that you want to manifest for yourself. It's the same thing with beauty. So take accountability for what you see around you, even if it's not happening directly to you. So when you see somebody else with a fat ass that you want for yourself, give gratitude, have appreciation, celebrate that ass. No, not like being creepy or anything like that, but you manifested an ass like that into your reality. And yes, technically speaking, it's not on your body yet, but it is evidence, it is proof, it is a sign that it's not only possible, but that it's possible for you, right? So if somebody else has already manifested that, or they already have a big juicy double, you can get that for yourself. And them having it is evidence and proof that you can have it for yourself. So celebrate that and take accountability for manifesting that ass into your reality. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. So I love that approach. I love that she's also talking about kindness, and that really works as well. So if you're just like a kind person, that's going to radiate, and that is going to make you look a lot more beautiful. Corbin, can we talk about Corbin on Love Island? Yes. Every girl on the island was like, oh, he's so fine. He's so fine. He is. But as soon as they saw his true colors, as soon as they saw that he is not kind, he is a liar, he is not loyal, you can't trust anything that he says, he's not hot anymore. And all the women on the island turned against him. Even his new partner, Parmira, she was like looking at him a little sideways. I know her words were defending him, but I saw it in her eyes. I saw it in her eyes when all the other women around the fireplace were lashing out at Corbin and saying like, he's a rat, he's not trustworthy, he's a snake. I could see it in her face. She had like a sinking feeling in her stomach of, oh no, I really like this guy. I thought I could trust him at face value, but now I'm scared that he's gonna hurt me because all the women are saying that he's a hurtful kind of guy and he's not trustworthy. So if you're not kind, it erases your beauty. Like all of those islanders no longer want anything to do with Corbin. No matter how he looks on the outside, it's the inside that really makes or breaks your beauty.
Y'all, so I'm going to tell you right now how easy it is to manifest for physical appearance changes. It is this easy, okay? For me personally speaking, I have manifested weight loss alongside a lot of other things. I have completely reversed and changed my subconscious belief to tell me that everything's going to work out in my favor regardless of what I'm consuming, okay? Nothing in this world will ever have a bigger say than I do. And that's the same thing for you.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Yes, you are the creator of your own reality. There is nothing that has a bigger say than you do. Just to literally reiterate what she said, she is so right about that.
So the whole way that I went about this is that I simply set my intention in my mind. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make all my food work in my favor. Every single time I eat something, I'm gonna just tell myself that it's gonna help me lose weight, it's gonna give me my perfect body, and that it cannot affect me in a negative way at all because I don't want it to.
I love this. Okay, there have actually been scientific studies that show that the attitude and the mood that you have while you're consuming food has a major impact on digestion. So this is something I've really taken into account as a new toddler mom myself. I try really hard not to eat around my toddler, because if you have a toddler, you know that if you're trying to eat around them, it can be chaotic. They're always trying to get your attention, and they're trying to like steal your food, or they're throwing their food at you, or they're throwing their milk on the floor and you have to stop eating and clean it up. So whenever possible, I try to eat my meals when my husband is watching the baby so that I can eat in peace. Okay, because if I'm eating in calm and peace and I'm feeling good, your digestion actually is a lot more efficient, versus if you're eating in a really stressful environment, your cortisol is high, you're going to find that over time you do gain more weight because your body is not digesting as effectively. So she is damn right about that.
The whole thing is that you cannot check the 3D, okay? What checking the 3D means like going to the mirror and then looking at your body to make sure that it's actually not affecting you, or, you know, maybe not eating all of your food because you think you're gonna gain weight. Whatever it is that you know that you're not supposed to be doing, basically, okay? Never ever check the validation.
Number one, I think it's really difficult to not look in a mirror. I think I think everybody who lives in a house or an apartment, like at least in the bathroom, like at the bare minimum, you have a mirror there. And I guess you could try to take it down. But you're probably gonna see yourself in the mirror. So I don't think that that's like a super realistic thing.
For something that you already know is done in your favor. You do what you do, you live your best life, eat what you want, do what you want. Shit, if you're trying to manifest away acne or whatever, do what you want to do. Like, wash your face, don't wash your face. Always wash your face. But y'all know what I mean? Like, you could do whatever you want, but if you're telling yourself that you're gonna be fine regardless.
Okay, see what I'm saying? Even she's in agreement of like, okay, yeah, actions do play a role. Like, yeah, you should probably wash your face if you want clean skin. You should probably wash your face. Manifesting, like changing your thoughts and your beliefs. Like I said, my 5-pillar system, your beliefs, thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. When you pull on one, it transforms the rest. So if you're completely neglecting the action, you're completely disregarding an entire pillar of manifesting, your results are not going to be anywhere near as optimal as they could be or should be. Wash your face.
You're gonna be fine regardless, and that is a promise. Y'all have to understand that it's okay to not believe your affirmations. No one's telling you to believe them. You just have to keep repeating them. I did not believe them because obviously, if coming from a logical point of view, if you hear someone tell you you can eat whatever you want, you won't gain weight. There's only a few select people that you know are like that, right? You know that someone has a really fast metabolism, they never gain weight, whatever. That seems like it's only limited to them, but in reality,
listen, no hate to any of these women. They're all beautiful. I'm sure they're so capable of manifesting. But I think that the advice of you don't need to believe your affirmations, I think it needs some more clarification. If you're saying affirmations that you don't believe, it's going to create cognitive dissonance, right? Like I talked about earlier, you're not going to believe it at all. Your body's going to reject it, and therefore you reject the new identity that you're trying to install. So it's not gonna work. Probably it's not going to work at all for most people, but absolutely it's not going to be as efficient. And I guarantee with 100%, it is not going to be sustainable. If you don't change your identity, if you don't believe your affirmations, if you just keep saying affirmations that you don't believe, you're probably not going to get what you want at all. But even if you do, the path to getting it is going to be a lot harder and longer. And it absolutely is not going to last long term.
You can make it work in your favor no matter what it is. I did not care about anything else. And then as time went on, it became more and more and more apparent that I was getting closer and closer to my goal. I did not tell myself, oh, I want to weigh this, that. I literally just said, I want the figure that I want and the way that I want to look. I want to look it, and that's it. And it became a reality. And that's why, guys.
Okay. Question. Sorry to be so nitpicky, but she's saying it became more apparent that I was getting closer to my goal. Well, how do you know that? Because you said you weren't looking in the mirror, you weren't checking your 3D. So how do you know that you were getting closer and closer to your goal? How was it apparent?
I'm telling you, I eat whatever I want. I do whatever I want. Nothing matters to me at all. Whatever it is, it's not going to affect me in any way, shape, or form.
It really just sounds like she's trying to force the belief. And that's what happens when you rely namely on robotic affirmations and trying to literally lie to yourself and like brainwash yourself. Like, this is what I see happen all the time. Like I said, you can get this change, but it is temporary unless you follow it up with actually changing your identity, changing your 5 pillars. You're gonna slip back into it because you can only sustain that like strong arm and like bullying yourself into believing something and lying to yourself. You can only do that for so long before your foundation crumbles, because it was never solid to begin with. So that's why I say, guys, do it in steps. It's actually going to get you what you want a lot faster and easier when it doesn't feel like a complete and utter battle to believe.
I should start by saying I have literally changed my entire body composition from doing these things. These are beauty rituals that I have used to become more attractive. If you know me, you know I'm fucking obsessed with lotion. Where you put lotion on and you intentionally rub it into your body while saying self-love affirmations, saying things that you love about yourself, about your body, praising yourself.
Okay, I love this. So do we notice, are we kind of picking up on some patterns here? Number one, she's taking logical action. So if you want hydrated, smooth skin, you put on lotion. That is an action that you can take. But I love that the affirmations that she's using, she's saying things that she loves about herself now. So I love this so far.
And this shouldn't be like a specific script, like it should have oomph to it, some body, some heart behind it. Don't just say something that's generic, really make this personal and intentional to you. Working out, this is a portal for dream body manifestation. This is why I hate a Pilates studio that does not have a mirror, because I do a lot of mirror work while I'm working out. Even if you don't have a mirror, even if you can't see yourself.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, again, I love how she's like leading with action. I think that leading with action can be an incredible way to manifest, because again, when you pull on one of your pillars, the rest of them are going to react as well. So if you're taking action, like working out, you remember how, in previous videos they were saying, oh, you don't need to take action to work out and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, technically that's true. But it's going to be a lot harder for you to believe I'm losing 100 pounds by not doing anything, by eating 5,000 calories a day and not moving my body. Your brain knows that that's stupid. I'm sorry. Your brain is not that dumb. So it's going to sort out, okay, it's not really possible for me to lose 100 pounds eating a ton of crap and not moving. I love that she's focusing on actions that support the identity that she wants to reinforce. So that's amazing. The other thing, do you notice how she's saying it's helpful to look in the mirror? And in that other video, she was saying, oh, don't look at the mirror. Don't check. Don't look at your progress. Nothing. To me, that's very avoidant. That's like, if I'm avoiding the mirror, that's an identity of somebody who knows that they don't look the way that they want to look. And I suppose you could twist it in a different way of like, well, but I'm visualizing the way that I want to look. Like, if that works for you, okay. But I think that is a lot healthier for you to be able to look at yourself. If you're avoiding looking at yourself, that's the identity of somebody who doesn't look like what they want to look like. So do we notice the difference? And do we also see why trying to figure out how to manifest all on your own is so freaking hard? Because all these gurus and stuff, they're telling you complete opposite things. One person is saying, oh, don't take any action. And the other person is saying, take action that supports your goals. That one, I agree with more. One person is saying, oh, don't look in the mirror. And the other person is saying, yeah, you should look in the mirror and love yourself. I'm sorry, I way more agree with that. But let's keep watching.
While you're working out, while you're moving your body, really imagining what you want your dream body to be. So like if you're doing abs, see yourself in that bikini with that fucking six pack. If you're doing a butt workout, see yourself in that bikini with the butt of your dreams. You're basically doing like a visualization while you're working out. And also if you have a mirror, I think it's amazing, one for form, but also you can start to see your body change and layer like a visualization, how your body is literally in that moment improving because of the work that you're doing in the gym. You understand? Mirror gazing. Besides that, also just being able to build this comfortability of looking in your eyes, of really closely observing yourself.
I mean, yes, I do definitely think that, or I know that visualization is a powerful tool in manifesting. Again, it's like a teeny, eensy, wincy part, but I think it's a combination of the two. Like, yes, you should be visualizing because your brain can't tell the difference between imagination and reality. That's been proven. So yeah, visualizing absolutely is a good tool, but I think that completely avoiding looking at yourself, again, that's like the identity of I don't like what I look like and I can't look at myself. Can't even stand to look at myself. I think a good healthy combination of both. Be able to look at yourself, identify things that you love about yourself now, but also, yeah, use visualization sparingly.
yourself and seeing yourself, practicing, because it's all a practice. Whether you choose to hate yourself or you choose to love yourself, it is a practice that you will get better at whichever you choose to practice more. You learn to love you. And if other people don't see that beauty, don't see what you can see within your own self, then that's not your people.
100%. So I completely agree with that. It is about your self-love, and self-love means that if there's somebody in your life who doesn't like the way that you look, bye. Like, why are they in your life? Your validation should not be coming from outside of you. That's just like a nice little like sugar on top, okay? Your validation should be coming from within. Okay, guys, we have one last video, so let's get into it.
This is how you're going to manifest a physical appearance change. Whether you want to manifest weight loss or achieving your dream body, this is how you're going to do it. You guys, I've done this. One of my clients has done this. It's 100% possible. You can lose weight with changing your thoughts alone. Our cells respond to the thoughts and the vibrations that we're putting out there. So the way that you can manifest weight loss is by putting yourself in the end state. The person who has the dream body that you want to have right now. How do they think? How do they act? How do they behave? I really want you to think about this. And every single day, I want you to show up as that person. It's all about creating a new identity and every single day showing up as your new identity. Here's some affirmations that you can use to lose weight every time that you start to have doubts or
Okay, so she's really contradicting herself. You notice in the beginning she said, all you have to do is change your thoughts. But then immediately after she's saying, oh, well, I changed my entire identity. I changed like who I was being and like everything. So is it just your thoughts or is it everything? As somebody who creates content for a living, I totally understand like sometimes we kind of rush through things, or maybe we're just like speaking off the top of our head and some of the things that we say contradict ourselves. I'm sure that I've done that a million times on my own channel, but I do just kind of want to point out like that is a pretty big contradiction to say, oh, it's just your thoughts, but then she's saying she changed everything about herself and her whole identity.
fears or insecurities. You just need to put yourself in the identity of the person who already has the body that you want. How? By repeating these affirmations. I'm so skinny. I lose weight every time I eat.
I really can't wait until this robotic affirmations fad is over, because she's totally contradicting herself. She's saying, oh, you can change your entire identity just by affirming. Your identity is not an affirmation. And when you use affirmations and revision and things like that to try to escape negative thoughts and feelings, you're being somebody who can't accept who they are. You're being somebody who's desperately trying to change. You're being somebody who isn't where they want to be. So instead, can we try to practice some more grace, self-compassion, empathy? It's okay to sit with your negative feelings. It's okay to acknowledge that you have negative feelings. In fact, it's better. It is better for you to process negative feelings and take information from them, extract the information, and use that information to better yourself, to advance towards your goals. Negative feelings are not something terrible that is going to ruin your manifestation. Negative feelings are simply information. I talk about this all the time in my videos and with my clients. Negative feelings are just information. Stop looking at them as a bad thing. So if you feel sad, why do you feel sad? What beliefs led you to feel sad? What negative thought spirals preceded you feeling bad? What circumstances are you telling a negative story about? Look at that as information and allow yourself to feel sad. And you give yourself permission to feel bad. You're going to get out of those feelings in a way that is actually healthy and sustainable, instead of trying to pretend that you don't feel bad and trying to say fake positive affirmations that you don't believe. Those negative feelings are going to come back even louder and stronger because you've been ignoring them and suppressing them and stuffing them down and being too scared to look at them. If you're too scared to acknowledge your negative feelings, they have immense power over you. You're not in control. Your negative feelings are, and they become like this shadow that subconsciously sabotages everything around you. So please don't be afraid to acknowledge your negative feelings have compassion for them, and use them as information to move forward.
Losing weight is so easy for me. I get skinnier and skinnier and skinnier every single day. I can eat whatever I want and still lose weight. I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in my whole entire life. If you can do this in front of the mirror, that's even better, but repeat it to yourself over and over and over again, and repeat it often. Say it when you wake up, when you're taking a shower.
Again, you should not be leaning on affirmations as the foundation for your manifestation journey. If you're trying to bully yourself into believing, it's not gonna work or it's not gonna last. This is a very beginner strategy that is going to yield very beginner results. And again, that's no shade to this person. She's very beautiful. I'm sure she's very capable, but she also seems very young, and it's okay to be new on your manifestation journey. But I think like giving advice to others, even though I'm sure she's coming from a place of wanting to be helpful and everything like that, I don't think that she has bad intentions, but I think the advice of like just affirm, especially paired with that contradiction of all you have to do is think and affirm, and then she's also saying, but you have to change your identity. Affirmations alone are not going to change your identity. Your identity is your entire 5 pillars. So I don't think that this is great information.
When you're cleaning, when you're washing the dishes, when you're going to school, say it over and over and over again, often, until you start to believe it. And the one affirmation that really worked for me when I was going through this process was I would repeat to myself, I'm always in a calorie deficit. Because I do have this limiting belief that you need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, which is just a limiting belief. You don't actually need to be in a calorie deficit.
If you're losing weight, it is because you're in a caloric deficit. Period. Period. That is literally just science. You don't have to change science. You don't have to eliminate gravity in order to get your manifestation. You don't have to change science. Science supports manifestation. Look at the double slit experiment. Your beliefs create your reality. Your expectations influence your results. Okay, this has been scientifically proven. So you don't have to try to believe that you don't have to be in a caloric deficit. That's not true at all. In fact, you can look at it more as I'm fueling my body in a way that makes it more efficient, so it's easier for me to be in a caloric deficit. I am effortlessly in a caloric deficit because that's actually scientifically, that makes sense. And again, that's not creating a cognitive dissonance, so you're going to be able to get on board and your new identity is going to follow. You don't have to eat less to create a caloric deficit. Sometimes, especially for women, when you eat enough, I'm not saying you need to like pig out and eat 4,000 calories, but when you eat enough, your body can work more efficiently. So you're giving your body enough fuel for your systems to process more effectively, and you actually do lose weight that way. Versus when you're in an extreme caloric deficit, like you're in a deficit of more than 1,000 calories a day, that's, again, for most women, most people, that's too much. And you're actually suppressing your body's normal function because it doesn't have the energy that it needs to work properly. So that's why sometimes eating more can help you lose more weight. It can boost your metabolism, things like that.
Honestly, things started to shift so quickly. My eating habits became so healthy just on their own. I put zero effort into this process. It happened so naturally.
I'm sorry, this is the worst video yet. She's saying she put zero effort, but you put a ton of effort. You just said that you were affirming all day long, every day, in the shower, when you wake up, when you're cooking. You just said you were putting in a ton of effort. Affirming all day, stuffing your mind, stuffing affirmations down your throat all day, that is a lot of effort. That's way more effort than my clients put in. That's way more effort than I put in. When I lost weight, 85 pounds, I put in effort at the gym for like an hour a day. And like, that was it. That was the effort. And I enjoyed going to the gym because I manifested an identity that loves going to the gym. So it didn't even feel like effort. It was just technically, it was time. And then I would also go for walks. But again, that did not feel like effort. That felt like I have the pleasure of being outside. And also I can get work done while I'm walking. I can enjoy time with my dog out walking. I get to walk with my toddler and see him enjoying the world. Like, it didn't feel like effort. It didn't feel like hard work. But there's so many contradictions in this. And that's why, Like, again, no hate to this person. She's beautiful. I'm sure she's going to figure it all out. But this advice is the reason why so many people struggle to manifest, because it's a direct contradiction after contradiction after contradiction. This is like the 6th contradiction I've seen just in this video. And that part where she's talking about her habits became so healthy all on their own. So there's a massive contradiction. Is it just your thoughts that change, or is it your habits? Because you just said that you changed your habits. And it didn't happen all on its own. You changed those things. You changed your habits. And yes, like, I believe that you used affirmations as a tool to start believing that that identity was possible, believing in your outcome, because you have to believe that your outcome is possible. Otherwise, you're not going to take steps towards manifesting it anyways. But I just think that the way that this person is going about it just is not sustainable. And I think that it's very confusing for people listening, because she's literally contradicting herself every couple of seconds. All right, guys, well, that is all that I have for you today for this reaction video. If you agree with some of these takes, I know I got a little bit heated, but that's literally only because I've talked to over 10,000 people who struggle with manifestation. And some of these videos are the reasons that they struggle so much. And so I want everybody to have a very clear path to manifesting. And so that's why I created all of my courses, my coachings, my meditations. Everything that I offer in the description below is designed to be very simple, very straightforward, very realistic. There's no mystical, magical anything. It's all based on neuroscience, quantum physics. It's based in reality. So you can get behind it. You don't have to try to force yourself and bully yourself to believe it. You don't have to jam and cram affirmations down your throat 24/7. If you're busy, if you have a lot going on, you own a business, you work 2 jobs, you have kids, you just don't want to spend all the time and energy robotically affirming all day long, check the link in my description, because I'm going to make manifestation so much easier for you. Let's make manifestation make sense again. And I will see you guys in the next video, and happy manifesting!